And let that be a lesson to you all. Nobody beats Vitas Gerulaitis 17 times in a row. These famous lines are well known to all. It's January 12, 1980, and we find ourselves at Madison Square Garden in New York. Vitas Gerulaitis has just defeated his fellow countryman Jimmy Connors in the semifinals of the 1979 Masters tournament. The blonde American has put an end to Jimmy's streak of 16 consecutive victories, and during the ensuing press conference, in a euphoric state, he makes these remarks that would go on to become unforgettable. So what's the significance? Well, not much really, except that some still insist on placing them in a different and incorrect context. For these individuals, Gerulaitis' remarks came after the retirement of the Swedish tennis legend Bjorn Borg, who, however, had already defeated Vitas 17 times in a row. But let's proceed methodically and examine both theses. It's worth noting that historical records are placing these statements during the press conference of the 1979 Masters tournament. Now let's review the sequence of matches between Gerulaitis and Connors. After Gerulaitis' initial victory, Connors won 4 consecutive matches. Then there was a victory for Vitas by walkover. Following that, Connors secured 12 consecutive victories, culminating in Gerulaitis' win at the 1979 Masters. And finally, the famous phrase. Apparently, much like the ATP does in its statistics, Gerulaitis didn't even count that particular victory. And it's precisely this victory by walkover that supporters of this theory hold on to. This win would break Connors' winning streak, meaning his famous 16 consecutive victories wouldn't exist. They'd be 12. Actually 11, because one victory in the Pepsi Grand Slam is also counted, which is essentially an exhibition match. Therefore, in this context, Gerulaitis' remarks would not make sense. But Borg's consecutive wins total 17. The remarks wouldn't make sense in that case either. However, in Borg's sequence of victories, there's also one in the Pepsi Grand Slam, making it 16 victories. And then the phrase would finally make sense. So, are they right? Not really. Let's analyze Borg's entire sequence of wins over Gerulaitis. But here too, after 6 wins by the Swede, there's one by the American via walkover. Therefore, even in this case, the winning streak would be interrupted. And Borg's consecutive victories would be 11, or rather 10, not counting the one in the Pepsi Grand Slam. In the end, Gerulaitis' remarks only make sense when he defeated Jimmy Connors. According to ATP statistics and historical evidence, that's when Vitas actually made those statements. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider following me for more interesting content. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a like and a comment below. See you soon!